102.7 KCHW, Chewelah, Blue Creek, Arden.
For the Daily Yonder and Public News Service, this is the news from rural America. Victims of recent flooding in eastern Kentucky will receive some $45 million from FEMA to begin rebuilding. SOAR, or Shaping Our Appalachian Region, is a nonprofit focused on economic development. CEO Joshua Ball says running a small business is challenging enough under normal circumstances.
The weight of trying to make payroll every 2 weeks to now having a flood. We just wanted to be there so that we can listen to those impacted and get them the resources.
7 nonprofits and the Small Business Administration have opened up local business recovery centers. All hopes to get money into the community quickly.
It is tough. Recovery is just not cleaning up the mud and wiping down the walls. But we always come together. We always roll our sleeves up. We always bounce back.
Agricultural work has its own dangers. Severe heat waves have added to the risks and fatalities, which have doubled since the early 1990s. Xander Brown has more.
Emory University researchers have found that long-term exposure to extreme heat can lead to chronic dehydration and acute kidney injury in farm workers. Heat-related deaths in rural areas are also compounded due to a scarcity of healthcare facilities.
We know that farm workers have much higher rates of fatality than any other industry.
Julie Fulcher with Public Citizen adds the risks aren't unique to agriculture. Outdoor laborers in construction, utilities, and first responders, including EMTs and firefighters, will also be more heavily impacted by breakdowns in infrastructure from rising temperatures, like melted highways.
The heat is creating a problem, and then we've now got these workers having to go out in the heat and deal with it, and often at high speed.
Fulcher says federal legislation to give workers more protection is stalled, and new rules from OSHA typically take years to enact. So far, OSHA has not responded to Public Citizen and other groups calling for emergency standards. I'm Xander Brown.
Gardeners, cooks, and small farmers relied on canneries for decades, and there are signs of a slow rebirth. At Virginia's Food Works, infrastructure upgrades allow the daily production of 2,000 glass jars of food from home growers and small businesses. Director Hannah Evans says visitors always ask the same question.
My wife and I used to go to these municipal canning facilities all the time and can up our goods, and I just wonder what happened to them.
After World War II, the U.S. had nearly 4,000 public canneries to help families preserve produce from their victory gardens, promoted to counter wartime shortages. Only a handful remain, and Evans says the funding her nonprofit receives from Prince Edward County is critical.
That to us shows their commitment, that they want us to stick around and that they want this to be a part of the community for a long time to come.
For the Daily Yonder and Public News Service, I'm Roz Brown. For more rural stories, visit dailyyonder.com.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7. Starting off a little late today. We are a hot mess. We had some difficulties at the studios. And then here in Maine, we had a power outage right before we were supposed to go live. So all the computers had to reboot and sound cards had to be reset and all that fun stuff. So if we disappear, it's another power outage. You said you saw them trimming a tree down the street?
Yeah, they were trimming a tree down the street just above the power lines. So I think that was probably what browned you out.
All right. All right.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah. Thanks to Michelle for coming in and flipping some of the switches back the way they were supposed to be. All right.
My hero.
Yay.
So, a side note,
Yeah.
I did fly down here in my pajamas, so if any of you in town see me, don't.
No judgment.
And that's too bad because since I didn't think you were going to be in there, I said video was unnecessary from the studio. So we can't even see you in your pajamas. That's horrible.
Trust me, nobody wants to see this.
All right. All right.
Good show. I'm going to head out.
All right. Thank you so much for saving us, Michelle. We appreciate
Michelle.
it. All right, live from Chewela, Washington, and his home studio, it is the one and only Chuck Ritchie. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning. I am also in my pajamas.
Nice. I'm in my underwear.
Outstanding.
Can confirm.
And live from Maine, it's Scott, and someday I hope he's my son-in-law, Jet.
That's
all right,
me.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us and filling in for Alan Maloney, who is on vacation.
Anytime. Well, that lucky dog.
He is a lucky dog.
I am in the opposite of my PJs. I'm actually in my work clothes.
You're in your work clothes.
Yeah, my shirt's tucked in and everything.
Nice.
Wow.
You are all tucked in.
Yeah.
I wish I could.
We don't do that kind of stuff here on the show.
Yeah, that's all right.
I wish I could tuck in my shirts. That just accentuates the belly.
That that's one complaint I have is like when you're a man and you tuck in your shirt. I guess anybody tucks in their shirt. It's like instantly just unflattering.
Yes. Yeah. Especially the older you get, the more flattering it gets. But thanks for being here, Jet. Let's see if he can do that thing we do when we usually start the show on a Thursday, since he's filling in on Three Amigos Day. Here we go.
Tell us we will die like dogs. What? Tell us we will die like dogs.
Tell us.
You will die like dogs.
Thank you.
No, we will not die like dogs. We will fight like lions because we are the Three Amigos.
Oh, that was excellent. We did very well.
That was very
pretty good.
He's been practicing that all week, I think.
I have. I practiced. Well, gosh, I think we've been doing Three Amigos Thursday now for about a year. All right.
It's been longer than that. It's been almost 2. It's been more than 2, hasn't it?
Probably
something like that. It's been a while.
COVID messes everything up. Your track of time and all that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, it's been forever.
Yes. All right. Few news headlines from this morning. Biden comes out again and claims he had zero advance notice of the FBI search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. You know, I'm usually a fan of Yahoo News and what they put up there, but today they've offered clickbait. One of their lead stories this morning said DOJ releases memo detailing decision not to charge Trump. So you would think that would be the current situation, right? Yeah. But if you actually click, I was like, what? And if you click on the story, it's in regards to the 2019 decision not to prosecute him for collusion with Russia.
Yeah. The Russian witch hunt.
But what a horrible lead title for their news story, because it's making people think it's the current situation,
right?
And clicking on it. So boo,
slow news week,
boo for Yahoo. Yeah. I've never seen Yahoo do clickbait like that before. I mean, some of their sponsored stories or ads, will do that kind of stuff, but I've never seen them actually do a horrible title like that on a story that and deceive people with it. So maybe it's an accident, but
doesn't Facebook own Yahoo or Meta's Facebook's parent company?
I do not think so.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I think they're autonomous. All right, or there'd be all sorts of Facebook stuff all over Yahoo.
Well, Bezos, he owns, what is it, the New York Times?
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't like that.
No, that's a little too much control.
I think it's the Washington Post.
And the FCC, they deregulated that for radio a long time ago, where you could only own one radio station and one newspaper in a town, and it kept things fair. And then they changed it, and now Clear Channel owns half of the radio stations in the world.
Yeah,
that's a phenomenal amount of power if you want to push a public agenda, and I don't think that's right.
No, me neither. You want to get real scared? Look at who owns the 3 companies that own all of the television studios. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's boring.
Scary. All right.
Stuff.
All right. You still with us, Chuck?
I am still with you.
All right. I heard some kind of strange echo, so I was just checking. Let's do some more.
That's just the noises in my head.
California has stepped up. They will implement a total ban on new internal combustion engines by 2035.
Okay.
So no gasoline cars will be sold. In California 12 years from now.
I wonder how many
states. They'll still be allowed on the road, right?
Yeah. I wonder how many states are going to follow suit.
I would say since Washington loves to copy California, we'll be right behind them.
Sometimes they sure do. Yeah.
Excuse me. Anybody have any college debt yet? You got a college loan there? Well, maybe some good news after a lot of willy or won't. President Joe Biden finally escaped his Ross and Rachel dynamic with student loan relief.
Clever.
Today, Biden announced that he's forgiving $10,000 in student loan debt per federal borrower for those earning under $125,000 annually. Pell Grant recipients will have up to $20,000 of their student loans forgiven, and the same income cap. So if you didn't get out of college and start making big bucks, that could be some good news for you. President also extended the student loan payment pause through January and sliced monthly payments under an income-based repayment plan in half to 5% of an undergraduate's borrower's discretionary income. In true modern discourse, Biden announced his decision via Twitter. And the masses were both happy and unhappy, whether it applied to you or not. But go ahead, Chuck.
That will cover the interest on my wife's student loans for almost a year.
That's pretty. Wow. Does she not qualify for any of the repayment?
But it's only up to 10,000. So if you have a whole bunch of but it's still
she
something.
has very large ones.
Yeah.
It's something, and possibly a step in the right direction that we might be heading toward free college someday for everyone.
Yeah, I heard one analyst yesterday on the News Hour talking about how maybe more closer to November, they might do something else. This might boost popularity, and then they might bump up the number for non-Pell Grant earners.
Because that's something.
That's the hope.
That's something the Democrats wanted to do for a while.
That was one of his campaign promises.
And Bernie Sanders started all that.
Yeah.
Let's make college free for everyone, especially when we have problems with skilled trades and high tech jobs and stuff like that, where we're hurting for employees in certain fields, doctors, nurses, that kind of stuff. Making a school free could solve a lot of that, and it might be. You know, those that we hear the horror stories of student debt, and I'm sure that's what turns a lot of people away from going and getting a 4-year degree or a 6-year degree even.
Yeah. Well, and that free college would only apply to public universities.
Right.
The private universities would still, you still have plenty of opportunity to cripple yourself for life with student loan debt.
Go to Yale.
Well, I think that statistically, the people who go to those schools, I don't think they come out with as much student debt because, they usually come from wealthy families that can pay it off for them.
Mom and dad hooked them up in the first place.
Yeah, what's $120,000? That's fine.
Man.
I don't. My opinion on the whole thing is a little mixed. I'm glad that they're doing it. I don't think that the federal government should be involved with paying for school at all. I don't think that the government should be in the loan industry, but that's a complicated opinion. I won't go into it too much.
All right. Yeah, it is. Well, I was always weirded out because I got a government loan to go to college, and then they sold it out from under me.
Yeah.
And then I started having problems. What was it, Sallie Mae or whatever? It was like, you missed one payment, and all of a sudden my interest went from 6 to 12%, and it was a nightmare to get it paid down and paid off finally. So I was like, I thought I didn't read the fine print. As a kid, and I thought I was covered, but then they sold it out from under me, and then it turns into a nightmare, which has happened to a lot of people. Now you're basically putting up with loan sharks who keep trading your loan around, and then if you get into trouble for something, now pretty soon, let's say 10 years later, you haven't got it all paid off, and you're paying 21% on your school. There should be something to protect that from being happening. If the government's going to sell it off, there should be some limitations on what they could charge you for interest, even if you got behind on your payments.
I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I think Obama changed that. I don't think
he might have done something good.
I don't think they can sell your loans anymore to private companies. I could be wrong. I don't want to speak on that too much. But
I know we've come across instances before where they've sold off the loans, and then before we can figure out who has them now or how to pay them, then they get sold again. And it's just like this string of like payments because you don't even know who to pay because they get traded and traded back and forth.
I knew a guy that almost had his house foreclosed on because his mortgage company did the same thing. They sold his loan and did not inform him. He didn't know until he started getting, past due notices in the mail. Like, oh, hey, you haven't been paying your mortgage. And he's like, well, I
didn't know who to pay it to.
I didn't know who to send the check to.
Wow. Scary stuff.
But yeah, it's...
All right, I missed weather real quick for Chihuahua. 89 today. Sun and clouds mixed. A stray shower and thunderstorms possible again like yesterday. Did you see any of that? Do you have any thunder boomers yesterday there, Chuck?
I did. I was actually outside working in the yard. I've been renovating our dog yard, and there was a guy that's been helping me, and he was weed eating around some of the areas, and I kept getting like pelted. We just put down a bunch of new gravel, and I'm all the way across from the yard from him, looking down, like doing some sprinkler stuff. And I thought the guy was pelting me with gravel, and I was about to yell at him, like, "Hey, stop it, you're hitting me." And then I looked down, and it's ice coming down hitting me.
Wow. Really?
We had big stones. We had, grape-sized hailstones.
That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good size.
It was intense. And then my daughter was out riding her bike there in the middle of it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Poor thing.
One time I was working at a grocery store, and we got about nickel-sized hail like that, and I was the courtesy clerk, so I had to go out in the hail with the umbrella helping customers to their cars, and just got soaked. I asked if I could go home to change, and they said no, so that was fun.
I got caught in a hailstorm with the top off.
Oh, yeah.
And I had my daughter in the car.
Put your shirt back
on. Not that top.
Oh, okay.
But maybe somebody wants to picture that. And I tried to get my little one. I stuffed her up under the dash, and was trying to keep driving, hopefully drive out of it. And about the time I was like starting to panic that I'm going to have to pull over and both of us are going to have to get under the car, it stopped. So,
good.
So it was good, but kind of scary.
Was that Lindsay?
It was Lindsay.
She's told me that story.
Yeah, it was Lindsay. All right, for your Friday, sunny skies return 91 and 58. And then Saturday, a cool one, partly cloudy, 79 and 52. Mostly sunny for your Sunday, 81 and 51. Next week, I see an 88 to 96, back up to 99. You guys are not, but then back into the 80s. So you guys are not done baking yet. So what I could say to you folks in Chihuahua is turn over and base the other side.
Yeah.
Ouch.
You want even browning.
Yes, we want even browning for you guys. Let's see here.
We had such a late spring. I think Mother Nature is trying to compensate by giving us a longer summer this year.
All right. And here in Lincoln today, we get to enjoy 78 with a mix of sun and clouds and a chance of another rain shower. We've been getting rain off and on for a couple days. So.
Yeah.
We're doing good. They even say things, we look across the country and a huge drought and then obnoxious amounts of rain causing massive floodings, following high temperatures and stuff. It's just a mess. And even here in Maine, where it's mostly water, they say it's a drought this year.
Yeah.
You look around and go like, okay, everything's green,
right.
But they're saying it's not normal and not a normal amount of rainfall.
Yeah, to my understanding, it's the time between rains that's really doing it, is because dry dirt doesn't. When the ground is dry, it doesn't absorb as much water. So when you go between rainstorms and it's dry and hot, even the rain doesn't help because the rain just washes off. It doesn't soak into the soil. So.
All right. You guys remember Herschel Walker, the football player?
Mm-hmm.
All right, he is running for U.S. Senate. Headline says ex-football star Herschel Walker's woes hurt Republicans' chance of taking the U.S. Senate. Their hopes of controlling the U.S. Senate in November could hinge on former football star Herschel Walker, a first-time candidate endorsed by Donald Trump, whose campaign appears to be lagging behind other Republicans in Georgia. Sports legend, the 60-year-old Walker secured the Republican nomination to run for Senate for the state in May. Seeing off 5 other contenders, Republicans hoped his popularity and name recognition would translate into a victory in what is likely to be a close race. But what's happened is, well, as it often does with these first-timers, his mouth has messed things up. So his campaign has been rocked by repeated policy gaffes and a string of controversies about his past, including allegations of domestic violence.
Oh, that'll do it.
All right. I got a quote in here somewhere if I can find it. And this will pretty much just sum up what he's been doing. Real quick, though, candidates also causing problems for him are Mehmet Oz, Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz.
He's been saying things that don't come out very well either, causing problems.
Hasn't he been causing problems for the country for years?
Yeah. Well, it used to just be middle-aged women who watched Oprah, but now it's the entire country that he's giving bad advice to.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, without naming individuals, has cited candidate quality as a reason why Republicans may struggle to capture the Senate, putting his party's odds of winning a Senate majority at 50-50. And my question to Mitch is, Mitch, have you looked in the mirror?
Yeah. Oh, man.
All right. Analysts say Walker has made himself an easy target for political attacks with his disjointed comments on issues from COVID-19 to the climate. For instance, he attacked the recently passed $430 billion climate and drug bill on Sunday, saying it's a lot of money going to trees, and asking, and this is according to the Atlantic Journal-Constitution, a quote, "Don't we have enough trees around here?" Really?
Oh, my gosh.
Don't we have enough trees around here? No, actually, we don't.
Oh.
Is that similar to the guy that said we can't do solar panels because we need the sun? We need to share the sun. And
Yeah.
not enough sun to go around.
Like that. Or Trump's thing about the wind turbines when he was saying it was killing birds or something. Remember that?
And causing cancer.
Yeah. The cancer.
Yeah, I was talking about that the other day. Yellow journalism, to help the powers that be stay in power.
Right.
And that's really sad.
That is.
All right, we covered the ex-football player. Let's see. I really like this. Former Fox News editor claims viewers have been deceived and coddled over the years by Fox News. Now, this might make some of our listeners upset.
No way.
But they have been caught in more lies and disinformation than any of our other networks. They really have. And if you can't admit it, I'm sorry for you. This is their former. His name was Steyerwalt. I don't remember him, but he said, when we use fear and when we use hate and when we use anger and when we use paranoia to keep ratings high and keep people attached to us, well, then we're not living up to, he says, I think about it all the time. 1 million American women died to preserve, protect, and defend this country and our Constitution, and it does them a disservice when you are basically making stuff up for ratings.
Wow.
Well, of all the major quote-unquote news networks, I believe Fox News is the only one required to put a disclaimer on their station in general that it is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. Fair and balanced entertainment purposes, though.
Right? It's the only one.
Well, here's a problem, and I'm gonna blame this on all the networks too.
Yeah.
Is it's gotten to the point where it's, what they say, J.R. Morrow, the original news guy, would roll over in his grave if he heard what was going on today, is because it's like what we're doing right now. It's commentary.
Yeah.
That is not news.
Yeah, right.
If you're going to deliver a news story, it needs to be, an unbiased story, and you need to keep your mouth shut when you're done telling the story. And none of them do anymore. No. There's always some comment or twist at the end of the news. And that's the problem, I think, for all of them being taken seriously. Yeah. And I think it just adds to us, what do we believe is true? How do you believe what's true and what's real when everybody's throwing in their own 2 cents after it?
Right. Well, and I think, too, that, they package it like it's news. I mean, it's one thing, there's an expectation of, for example, political talk radio. That's always been commentary. That's always just been...
You expect it.
That's you turn on political talk radio and you know that Rush Limbaugh or, I know there are left-leaning talk radio hosts too, but you know that they're delivering their opinion. They don't package it as news. Fox News and all of the news networks have been doing this. They've slowly over the years, and in my opinion since 9/11, have been sneaking it in these op-ed pieces and these editorials while varnishing it as news. They're like, look, we're Fox News, we're CNN, we're the news, we're television news. You can trust us, Walter Cronkite, blah, blah, blah. And for years, and it's all of the networks. It's not one specific. Fox News, they're the loudest and they're
I'm
the worst.
sorry, Como and Lemon on CNN, they are, and I'm in the middle moderate, maybe a little left leaning because I'm all about the climate change stuff and protecting the environment. So people will accuse me of being left, but I'm still one of those that say don't take my guns. Yeah. And what Como and Lemon do on CNN is disgusting to me. Just to listen to them, I can't stand it. So and it's the same when I hear, you know, when Trump's obviously told a lie, and it's been proven as a lie, but Fox is still running with it as news, that's a disservice to the American people.
And I don't think it's fair to run, you know, they'll say, oh, it's not news with scare quotes. It's an opinion. It's an editorial. But they don't advertise. They don't press it like that.
All right, we beat up all the networks there enough, and Fox isn't the only one to blame, even though they might seem to be a little better at it.
I definitely think they're the worst.
I've got a ton of friends though that love it, and I'm okay if you love it, but just take it for what it is. It's commentary. It is for the most part of it. It is not news.
Yeah.
All right. It might be newsworthy story, but it's done under the guise of that it's being reported as news, and it's a lot of times that those comments afterward definitely take away from it. We're not doing news right now. This is all commentary.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, none of this is true.
I only get my news from KCHW.
This is all fake news.
We're guilty of it again.
It's true, man.
All right. All I see is Chuck's head. Is he looking down? It's stuck on when we were getting started this morning. Right? I think we're actually broadcasting. Yeah. It's okay. I think I'm fixing it. All right. Yeah, we definitely had a tough start to the morning. Chuck, one of the things I'd sent out, we didn't get through all of the bits and breaks from yesterday. Are you able to open up 2 tabs on your Interprep?
Yeah.
All right. So open up the tab for the 24th too, as we head to bits and breaks this morning. This is just like a question to pose. Maybe one of you will have a story you can share. What was the final straw in a friendship?
I have one from when I was a kid, like a young kid.
Okay.
I had a friend, I switched school districts at about 6th grade and started making friends at the new school district, but I had a friend from the old one. And this old friend and I, about the only thing we had in common was this online game called RuneScape. And that was about the only thing he ever wanted to do, was play RuneScape. And I'd start making these other friends who wanted to go to the mall and go watch movies. But this old friend, he's just really antisocial, didn't ever want to do those things. So one day he wanted me to stay up till like 2 a.m. playing RuneScape on a school night. And I broke up with him on RuneScape. So
it's so sad.
Yeah, Carson, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
Let's see.
I think once they get involved in these pyramid schemes and try to get you involved, that's a friendship killer right there.
Definitely.
No, I'm not buying your stuff.
Right. Oh, I do have another friendship final straw that I can't share on the radio because it's a little dicey, but I think Lindsay and I have told you the story. It's yeah.
Is it as good as mine? The last friendship I canceled was because he was hitting on my girlfriend.
Wow.
Well,
that's a good reason to break up, I guess.
I guess so. Depends.
So that must have been a long time ago, right?
A couple of years. Wow, Chuck just totally burned me down.
Oh, man,
that was like painful.
Sorry.
It wasn't even nice. That was just cruel.
I thought it was funny.
That's great. Go ahead, make your jokes, Mr. Jokey. Joke maker.
At least you got good drops.
Get good drops, Mr. Jokey Joke Maker. So anybody else got a story of something horrific that ended a friendship?
I had one recently. It was just a Facebook friend, somebody from high school, and they kept private messaging me adult material.
Oh yeah.
And I kept telling them like, why would you send me this? You know, my kids use my phone. Stop. And like after the 3rd time, I'm like, okay, goodbye.
Yeah,
blocked.
I had one that did that too. Yeah, he would send me like topless photos. Yeah, that's really tasteless.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing.
And once again, the girlfriend. Thanks, Chuck. Just to be sitting beside your girlfriend, and something pops up on your phone, and you pick up your phone, and it's something like that, and you're like, I don't know what's going on. They don't believe it.
Yeah,
right.
I actually had a stepdad that would show me just awful, vile things that he and his coworkers would send to each other. And one time he showed me something that was just particularly gross, and I had to tell him, like, don't show me this.
Yeah.
I mean.
It's tacky. Don't send stuff like that through.
I basically told him, I was like, if you wouldn't show it to your kids, I don't want you to show it to me.
Right.
So.
All right. There's some great reasons to lose a friend.
Yeah.
All right.
Or a stepdad.
if you've got a better reason that you lost a friend, maybe if you're watching on Facebook this morning. She says she lost Chuck's video, but I think we're back. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think we're back. Deborah Barbie says, nice hat, Scott. And that is because it says Hands Across Nation, and she's a big fan of supporting that. And Carolyn, too. Yep, thank you very much. And I've had this hat now, I think, for 4 or 5 years. So.
Yeah, ever since he's been working on his army of clones in the basement.
Now, I would think that they're going to be getting ready for their annual fundraiser, too. To help people in Uganda. So there you go. Be watching for news on that. Let's see. Moving on. Oh, I had something since Chuck was the first to insult me. I did this earlier in the week for my sister. This is for you, Chuck.
Mama liked to party when you were in her belly. Drinking she did some. Mama liked to party when you were in her belly. That's why you are done.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
That's funny.
That's good stuff.
Family Guy's always good for those fun little songs.
Oh, there's some greats. There's so many that you can't play on the radio, too, which makes me kind of sad.
I do like their Butter on a Pop-Tart song. That's and that one's pretty radio-friendly.
It's got one dirty word in it, but I bleeped it out.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's right.
I had to play it.
It does have
just one of those had-to things.
My buddy and I, when we were in high school, we played guitar, and we'd go to parties and play guitar. And that was one of our songs that we'd pull out every once in a while. Never put butter on a Pop-Tart.
Wow.
Yeah, I would take...
Have you guys ever put butter on a Pop-Tart?
I have, yeah.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
Yeah. I have never liked the cinnamon Pop-Tarts in my life until my wife showed me the beauty of the butter on the cinnamon Pop-Tart. And then it's like a cinnamon roll. It's fantastic.
Say cinnamon roll again.
Cinnamon roll.
No, I meant Chuck.
Yeah, you toast them first and then butter them.
All right. Let's see. 911 fails. Let's see. I think we got... you want to take this one, Jet?
Which day is that on?
That's on today.
Today.
And Bits and Breaks. 911 fails. So these are phone calls that people made to 911 that they probably shouldn't have.
All right, a fight over the ownership of a vacuum cleaner resulted in a man in Ontario, Canada, being cautioned by police regarding the proper use of 911. Police were told 4 male roommates had purchased the vacuum several months prior, and one of them was leaving and wanted to take it with him.
Aww.
I mean,
he called because he wanted to take it?
Yeah, he wanted to take the vacuum, so he took the vacuum.
Which prompted a 911 call and an arrest. Okay.
Yeah, good. A guy in California called 911 when his kid wouldn't let him play Fortnite with him. Dad, you're too old. Get out of here. Oh, right.
That's really sad that the parent called.
Another one in Ontario. Police got a laugh when they received a phone call from a 4-year-old after a bunch of kids playing hockey said their team had been robbed. A common hockey line that often follows a goalie's big save. The young boy took it seriously. The cops, thankfully, didn't think the call was offside.
Wow. So no charges filed.
So that one would have played really well in Canada. I think us Americans that lost on us. A Florida man... this is a good one. A Florida man didn't just make the mistake of calling cops asking for Kool-Aid, burgers, and pot once. He did it 80 times. The man was arrested for calling 911 operators and requesting the items. He never got what he wanted.
Oops.
Oh, man.
Wasn't me.
North Carolina woman was arrested after she called 911 because Subway made her food with the wrong sauce. I wanted sweet onion sauce, not Chipotle.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. Bits and breaks that we didn't get to yesterday. I got killer quotes. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And that's from Mike Tyson. Didn't you have a great Mike Tyson impersonation there, Chuck? Wasn't it you? Maybe not.
I don't know.
All right. Do what you...
I don't think I can.
That's been good.
Do what you can with what you have where you are. Teddy Roosevelt.
That's a good one.
Let's see. If you don't like change, you're going to like irrelevance even less.
That's another good one. Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
All right. Our General Eric Shinzeki, whoever he was. And now the worst at work birthday party ever with Chuck Ritchie.
Okay. Yeah, a woman on her Reddit shared that her manager gathered everyone in her office in the break room at lunch to present her with a birthday cake with the wrong name on it. Wow. The manager admitted there was no budget for a cake, and he got one from a grocery store bakery that had a cancellation for a cake after someone else had ordered. The manager proudly said he paid less than half what a cake would cost. The woman on Reddit couldn't tell if her manager was being funny, but probably not, since his employee Christmas gifts are usually cheap gift cards with $2 scratch-off lottery tickets inside.
Good.
I think that's a great card, though. Give me a lottery ticket. That's fantastic.
I just interviewed a guy for the newspaper who won big wins on the lottery twice in the last year. He won $13,000 last year. And then just a few weeks ago, off a $10 scratcher, he won $50,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never won more than like $10, and I think that was just like once.
I know. I'm always happy if I can just buy another card, you know? So.
I bought a $1 scratch off ticket. I didn't win much, like $50 maybe, but I got whatever the numbers are. I hit every single one of them, and then that was during my lunch break at work. And then on the way home across town, I went to a completely different gas station and bought the same card and got the same numbers and the same exact everything on the same day.
Wow! And you won
astronomical.
Again. And you won again.
I won again. I think it was like 50 or 75 each time, but. Yeah.
That's still pretty cool. I mean, despite big money or not, it's always good to win. So.
I won 2 fairly large jackpots one night at the casino, and then I was so mad, I was thinking, why didn't you stop and buy lottery tickets? You were obviously lucky that day.
Might as well have.
And it was like, Mega Millions, and it was up at like, $500 million, and of course Scott didn't buy a ticket.
That's all right.
All right.
I don't really buy them often, but I think they're a lot of fun, and as long as you break even, I'm 100% happy.
All right. Deborah hopped back on Facebook, and she said, I was right. Hands Across Nations is planning a mid-September event. So I'm sure we'll get into more details on that, their annual fundraiser to support their efforts there in Uganda. So
nice.
Be looking for more information on that. I'm sure we'll get it here on the radio, and you'll find it in the paper, too. All right, moving along this morning. Jet, strange eye injuries, and get ready. Get your vomit bag, because some of these are really going to creep you out.
When we're done, I've got a good eye injury story. High heels and staple guns aren't the only things that keep eye patch manufacturers in business. Here are a few of the stranger items that have caused injuries in some people's peepers.
Can't say that on the radio.
Yearly eye injuries from vacuum cleaners number up to 776. 776 people are injured in their eyes by vacuum cleaners.
That's disgusting. And why are you looking in it?
You're supposed to turn it off before you check to make sure there's a clog.
Yeah, come on, people. Toilets cause 327 yearly eye injuries. Washing machines account for 152. Doormats. Doormats.
But let's go back to the toilet. Yeah. How do you hurt your eye with a toilet?
That's
no clue.
Improper bidet use.
That was. I wonder if this
had it on high.
Yeah, I wonder if this bidet's working. Oh gosh.
They do spray kind of hard.
I'm also wondering about washing machines. And the next one is doormats. Granted,
I'll have to say I did break. Not an eye injury, but I did break my sunglasses on my washing machine yesterday. That was fun.
How do 91 people a year get eye injuries from doormats? I just don't. Drinking fountains account for 76 injuries per year in the eyes.
Shaking the doormat. You're shaking the dust off of it.
Yeah, that might be it. That might be it.
I can see that.
Fondue pots, less than drinking fountains and doormats at 68. Pacifiers cause 57. Vending machines account for 25 injuries per year.
Okay.
All right. Aquariums, they cause 25 yearly eye injuries. And to close it out, grocery carts, they cause 6 eye injuries per year. And then I have a fun story about an eye injury. When I was probably 4 or 5, I was visiting my grandparents running around in their backyard, and I got thwacked in the face by their rose bush, and one of the thorns actually broke off into my cornea.
Wow.
And I don't remember most of it. I remember actually making contact with the bush and get hit in the ground. And then the next thing I remember is my mom holding me in a headlock while my dad Pulled the corn out with tweezers.
Oh, man.
Didn't take me to the hospital, but they gave me an eye patch. I got to wear that for a couple days. Surprisingly, your eyes are surprisingly sturdy. You would think, rose thorn in the eye, you're done. No, didn't even. I mean, like a day or two with an eye patch, that was it. So.
Wow. Hold on.
Yeah, I can.
Before this is over, I'm gonna need a whole lot of serious therapy. Look at my eye twitching.
I remember thinking as a kid that if you have an eye injury, that's it.
Yeah.
That's permanent. But yeah, they're pretty resilient.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are.
I had a piece of metal in my eye.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they can't put you to sleep when you have an eye injury, because your eyes roll up in your head. So they strapped me into this Spanish Inquisition thing on a metal table that held my eyes open, and then the doctor literally came at me with 2 needles to pick it out of my eye.
No thanks.
And this is it.
Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye.
That was also.
I got metal in my eye once, and they told me they got it out, but they told me that I probably wouldn't be able to get an MRI or anything ever as long as I lived if there's any metal left in there. But I've gotten plenty since then. But there's.
What would that do?
It would pull the MRI is magnetic, so
pull the metal back out of your eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the piece I had in rusted overnight because I was camping when I got it. It rusted overnight. So they pulled out the piece of metal, and then they sent me to a specialist who actually came at me. It was like a Sharpie with a wire brush on the end of it that rotated, and they actually ground away on my eye to get the rust out of it.
I don't like that. That's a bad. I don't like that at all.
Well, you like this even less.
You must be Igor. No, it's pronounced Igor. But they told me it was Igor. Well, they were wrong then, weren't they?
Oh, boy.
I love that movie so much.
Me too. That's one of the. It's
classic.
It's probably the best one of those older Mel Brooks movies.
It is. All right, you're listening to KCHW Chihuahua. We started late. We're running late. We're just going to keep on going. All right?
We're having a good time, though.
All right. Let's see. Things you should never say about your ex, ladies. He was broke. You still love him. Anything super embarrassing. Thanks a lot. Anything he told you in absolute confidence. How much your parents loved him. That he was bad in bed. Or negative qualities your ex had that your current boyfriend has. Don't do those either.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Does it give a reason why, or is it just saying to be a good person, don't do this?
Just be a good person.
Okay.
All right, pregnancy superstitions. You won't find these, by the way.
Okay.
I dug
These are
these
your
out of my
secret
shoe.
ones.
These are my secret ones. It's bad luck to have a baby shower before the baby is born. I didn't know this.
What?
Isn't that when all baby showers take place?
I thought that was tradition.
I thought they all happened before they were born. All right, that's what it says, though.
Maybe that's the cause of everything wrong in the world, is we've just been having...
Could be. Wow. Pregnancy superstitions. Happily married couples produce attractive children.
Okay.
Angry couples produce ugly children.
Oh, man.
Hence, Scott. Babies born at night stay up at night.
Okay.
All right. Babies steal their mom's beauty.
All right.
Let's see. Pregnant mothers who rub their tummy too much will spoil the child. Everything a pregnant woman plants will grow well.
Okay.
All right. If the mother hears the call of an owl, the baby is female. Owls are also rumored to cause miscarriage, so be careful. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Eating strawberries during pregnancy will leave your baby with a port wine stain.
Okay.
What?
I have the port side of her body or port wine?
No, like port, like wine, like port
wine.
Yeah, the dessert. It's disgusting.
All right.
It really is.
Pregnant moms should never look at dead bodies. It dooms the child.
Okay.
All right. These are superstitions, by the way.
Yeah.
And have a round high belly. It's a boy.
I have heard that one before.
You have heard that one before?
It's funny how like medicine and superstitions used to just be people throwing things at walls and seeing what stuck. Like.
And now it's Fox News.
Yeah, exactly. Fox News is 10 tips to having a healthy baby.
All right. Bird nest soup. We're going to start off with this one. It is weird food delicacies.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
from around the world. Now, this one comes from China. It's something in the saliva of the bird that makes it have a unique gelatinous rubbery texture, and it's one of the most expensive animal products consumed by humans. It's expensive because the swiftlet birds build the nests during breeding season over a period of 35 days, and the nests can only be harvested around 3 times a year. A bowl of soup can cost anywhere from $30 to $100. And you know what's in a bird nest?
Bird poop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know if I could say that.
This is delicious.
Ooh, well, I don't know. You'd think that they'd maybe go over the side, the old tradition of not messing where you eat / sleep. Maybe they're clean about it. Who knows?
Fried tarantulas. And this is from Cambodia. They're fried whole, legs, fangs, and all. Fried tarantulas.
I've actually eaten one of
would
those.
Would they be that much different than a crab or a lobster?
So I have a theory, and I haven't tested it yet, but I've been meaning to talk to Jed about this to see if he'd double down with me on this. Is I've noticed my cat, as far as, but you talk about eating bugs, and we're running out of food.
Yeah.
And in another 20 years, you think starving around our country now, it's only going to get worse. So what other things could we eat? And they say harvesting bugs could be a very good source of protein. But what bugs are the good ones to eat? Now, I know centipedes can have poison in them and stuff like that. And watching my cat, she's picked one up before and she immediately spits it out and shakes her head. So there's something they're releasing something there. Out of and she won't do beetles. I don't know if they're
Too
just
crunchy.
I don't know. But her favorites are spiders, moths, and then grasshoppers, which we've heard about people eating grasshoppers many times
Mine
before.
too.
I've had crickets. I've actually had prepared crickets that were sold in like a bacon seasoning. They were okay.
They were okay?
They were okay.
I had some ranch ones not too long ago. They were the flavor wasn't actually bad. It was the texture.
It's the texture. It sticks with you. It stays in your mouth. It's kind of grainy. That was my complaint. It sticks in your throat.
I know when the cat catches a grasshopper and eats it beside me, and there's all that crunch, and it makes me want to vomit.
Yeah.
I heard June bugs are supposedly actually can be prepared quite tasty and are nutritious. There's some where I can't remember how they have a June bug festival where they make all kinds of stuff with June bugs.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I have
somewhere
heard
in the South.
I've heard that's the protein of the future is crickets and bugs.
Grasshoppers?
Yeah, I've heard that's the sustainable protein of the future. Who knows?
Well, both of our cats, because we'll let them out in front of the house, and both of our cats just go nuts for the grasshoppers, so they must be tasty. I'm tempted.
Yeah, we could pull them in here, deep fry them, slab them in butter.
We will YouTube it if we do it, so
We'll do
it'll be a special live broadcast.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right.
Well, we are one of only a small handful of cultures around the world that do not have some sort of insects in our diet. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Gross. All right, let's try pufferfish. This is in Japan, and it's the deadly pufferfish, remember? Or as they call it, fugu. It is the ultimate delicacy in Japan, even though its skin and insides contain a poisonous toxin that is 1,250 times stronger than cyanide.
Whoa.
That's why in Japan, only experts.
Yeah.
Does that sound like I'm doing the Ginsu commercial? That's why in Japan, only... Here, we need some echo for that. That's why...
It slices, it dices.
Yeah. That's why in Spokane? Sure.
Yeah.
That's why in Spokane, the deadly pufferfish. All right. Expert chefs in licensed restaurants are allowed to prepare it, but that's it.
That's it.
All right, don't try this at home.
Yeah, you're not going to find fugu fish at your local Safeway or anything.
No. All right, Balut, Philippines. Or in the Philippines, it's Balut, or is that a place? Let's find out. Fertilized eggs are boiled.
No, yeah, that's the thing. That's the food.
Oh, just before they're due to hatch. Oh, so they're like, so they're like formed.
Yeah, so they actually ferment that. They take them as they're about to hatch and they bury them underground and let them ferment, and that kills the thing inside of it, and then they boil it and eat it.
All right, so when you break your egg, the yolk oozes out, followed by a baby chicken or a duck.
Now, I wouldn't try that.
Don't forget a good blood clot around that.
Yeah.
Now, these are boiled. It says they're cooked when the fetus is anywhere from 17 to 21 days. They're not burying these under the ground like the ones you're thinking. I've heard of those, though. You didn't make that up. So 20 up to 21 days, depending on your preference, although when the egg is older, the fetus begins to have a beak, claws, bones, and feathers, which makes it a little tough to eat. The way to eat balut is to crack open the egg, sip the broth, and then eat the yolk and fetus.
Yucky. I'm a pretty adventurous eater. I don't think I would do that. I think that's one I'd skip.
I don't think I would either.
All right. How about in Sardinia? Sardinian cheese is a cheese with a difference. It's riddled with insect larvae.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of this.
Kazu marzu means rotten cheese and is most commonly referred to as maggot cheese.
Icky.
Oh, gross.
Welcome to Wisconsin, the maggot cheese capital.
Oh.
All right. It's now banned for health reasons, but can still be available on the black market in Sardinia and Italy.
I don't think it should be illegal, but what's the point?
I thought you were going to say it had sardines in it. Was it actually sardines? That doesn't sound too bad. I'd try that.
Cheese.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's illegal. That's silly to me, but, There's also a type of cheese that has mites on it, I've seen.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't see those, though.
A live octopus in Korea. The octopus is cut into pieces while still alive, lightly seasoned with sesame oil, and served immediately while fresh, and the tentacles still squirming.
See, that's less gross to me and more just, why would you do that? Why is that the only animal that we are like, oh, we'll cut this up while it's still alive and eat it? This animal that's highly intelligent and can recognize human faces. Anyway.
Right, that's what I was going to say. There's the whole cephalopods in general.
Yeah.
Like, I've always been a big fan of eating them, but the last few years, it's getting harder and harder because especially octopuses, the more we know about them. Like,
we're finding out so much more about animals and their intelligence, and octopuses are one of them. We've heard about elephants and how smart they are for a long time. So I was reading yesterday, I clicked on a story, and it was an elephant who was being abused by his owner.
Oh, yeah.
And forced to, so it's illegal to make elephants farm anymore. It's become illegal. And he was forcing the elephant to farm in extreme heat and had been doing it for days. And he literally tore his owner in half.
Good for him. Good.
And they're not putting him down or anything. They were like he was being abused, and they get upset about it. And then they told the story. It had been like 6 months earlier. There was a woman who was abusing her elephant, and the elephant killed her.
Okay, yeah.
And a couple days later, they had the funeral for her.
Yeah.
And they had her on a pyre, where they're going to put you on fire. The elephant crashed the funeral, jumped up on the pyre, and he had already stomped her to death.
Yeah.
Showed up at her funeral and stomped her again.
Finished the job.
How intelligent.
That's crazy. I
mean, it's really harboring some anger there.
I actually saw a video the other day of a rescued elephant.
They never forget.
They don't. Yeah, that's true. They'll hold a grudge. But I saw this video of a rescued elephant that had been abused and tortured, overworked. The guy that had rescued it was playing piano. He was playing Beethoven's Clair de Lune, which is a very sad, somber song. And this elephant was very, very old, probably a couple weeks from death is what they said. And the elephant starts off, kind of hanging out. It's like whatever. But as soon as the piano music starts, his head turns. And then as the video progresses, he backs up and puts his ear right next to the piano, and you could tell he was digging it. Yeah,
nice.
Putting his ear like right next to the piano and like touching the guy playing it with his trunk and having a good time. It was
nice.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Kopi Luwak in Indonesia. Kopi Luwak is the rarest, most expensive gourmet coffee in the world. It's actually made from the excrement of the Indonesian cat-like creature called the luwak. Now, this is how SARS started too. This is how SARS started.
Oh.
Okay. The luwak eats the ripest coffee cherries, but its stomach can't digest the beans inside them, so they come out the other end whole. Coffee that results from this process is said to be like no other, and the stomach acids and enzymes that perform the fermentation of the beans give the coffee a special aroma.
A special aroma. I like how they say not a good aroma or tasty. It's a special aroma.
Yeah. This ain't the best part of waking up, let me tell you. But at $250 a pound, you might stick with your Folgers.
So it's a cat that eats them?
Yes.
Isn't it the civet?
No, this is called the luwak. Now, the civet cats that you're talking about, or civet, however you want to call it, it does begin with a CH, but it's out of China, so I don't know how you pronounce it. But those cats are the ones that were accused of starting SARS.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When we had the SARS pandemic, which is just another
Yes,
version of
yeah,
COVID,
yeah.
but it supposedly came from the cats. And what they were doing is they were corralling these cats in large numbers, feeding them the coffee beans.
Oh, yeah.
And then picking them up when they came out the other end and making coffee out of them. It wasn't necessarily the coffee that was causing
Right.
SARS, but it was the way they were
Yeah.
handling these animals.
Right.
So.
I've also heard of them doing a similar thing with monkeys, but that may have been somebody misinterpreting this. Anyway.
All right, this is totally disgusting, isn't it? All right, there you go. Rare foods from around the planet. All right. Looking at 8:33 if you're with us. It's KCHW Chewelah, and we're going to challenge the boys. Now, Jet, just for your information, Chuck, Jet is pretty good at trivia. He's very well-read. He's shaking his head, no, liar, liar. So I'm going to pit the two, and just so you know, Chuck is like one of the reigning trivia champions at the local brewery in Chewelah.
Ooh.
So
it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Here we go.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
It's Jet and Chuck today for trivia.
I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. We'll have them answered immediately.
All right, this one's going to be a little tough for Chuck since he's a dog person, but 5% of cat owners, Chuck, say they've tried to train their cats to do what?
Anything at all?
Aww.
Yeah, it's not a bad guess.
Fetch?
No, but that is a good one.
I've had a cat fetch.
Any ideas, Jet? 5% of cat owners say they've tried to train their cats to do what?
I'm only going to guess this because Lindsay has wanted to try it, and that's using the toilet.
Using the toilet is correct. All right.
Just like in that the Ben Stiller movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had 2 cats, and I tried to teach them to use the toilet. It worked with one and not the other.
Really?
And I wasn't going to, deal with that in my toilet and a litter box, so I just went back to just the litter box. But one cat actually would use the toilet.
That's insane.
It's pretty impressive.
They actually make products now to do that.
Yeah.
It's like a cat box that has like an opening that you gradually slide the opening bigger and bigger, and then eventually they just go in the hole and then you remove the whole thing.
You know what I did it with was a turkey basting, a turkey tray for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
The metal ones. Fits perfect in the bowl of an average toilet.
For a second, I thought you were going somewhere with the turkey base.
Yeah, me too.
Really hard to get the cat to go to the bathroom in a turkey base.
You know what's funny is Scott actually found that out on accident. He put the turkey roasting pan in there for himself.
Scott was in the bathtub with the turkey.
He's just trying to save money on water.
You guys, wow.
Let me just put this here.
What am I going to do with the turkey?
Hold this for me.
Snack in the bathtub is nuts.
Hold it for me.
But I think of the time and the money I've wasted on your training. You still turn out to be a blithering idiot. You're another failure. You make me sick.
Oh, boy.
Study revealed that when an office changes this, keyboard errors drop 40%. All right. When a study revealed when an office changes this, keyboard errors drop 40%.
I don't even know where to take a stab at that.
Yeah. The air conditioning, I don't know.
It is air conditioning, Chuck. There you
Really?
go. All right.
Wow.
All right. So, especially if you haven't had it. They say anything over 77 totally disrupts the workforce.
I would believe that.
If you are in a location that's over 77 degrees when you're working, that you become very, very unproductive, cranky, and start fighting with your coworkers, which is always fun to watch.
I just guess that because I used to work maintenance at a university, and the thermostats were like our number one call.
Yeah.
To the point where we actually started putting fake thermostats in the offices, and we had these lock boxes around all of them, and we put like the fake thermostats that were like really easy to get open, so they thought they were getting around us and changing but they weren't.
Right.
That's evil.
That's
well, they left us alone.
Well, that's good.
All right. Happy.
Average person eats 18 pounds of what per year?
Chocolate.
It's a fruit.
Oh, a fruit. Bananas?
Negative.
Grapes.
Negative.
Apples.
Apples is right.
Apples.
There you go.
All right. Dwight D. Eisenhower was the first American president to possess what?
A television.
No. He had, I don't know how to give you a hint without...
was it a car?
Better than a car.
Okay.
Better than a car.
An airplane?
An airplane. He was the first American president to actually possess an airplane pilot's license.
That makes sense. Oh, he had. Okay.
All right. By the time you reach age 70, this will have happened about 3 billion times.
We will pass gas.
Just for you, Chuck. Just for you.
Blink. They'll blink.
That's a good guess, but it is not blank, but you're on the right path.
So by age 70, this will have happened 3 billion times.
Yep.
Breaths? Will you take a breath?
No, but you're still on the right track.
Hiccup?
No, and you're getting off track.
Oh, shit.
Cough?
No, sir. Well, apparently neither one of you have one.
Oh, a heart.
Yes, a heartbeat. There you go. 3 billion times.
Okay.
All right.
I would have never gotten that.
Let's see how I made a joke out of them finally.
Look at that.
Your heartbeat. If you had one. If you had one. If only you guys had one. All right. First one I was checking to see if we had any new posts. Marion saying good morning to us. And then I went back and I saw the one from Deborah again where she said nice hat. And at first when I saw that, I thought she was making fun of me.
Aww.
Nice hat, dork. Well, because people do that kind of stuff to me all the time.
Aww.
All right. Cats sleep 12 plus hours a day. Tigers 16 hours a day. And pythons 18 hours a day. What animal sleeps the most, though?
Those are life goals.
A sloth. The three-toed sloth.
Well, that was a really good guess, but that's not it. It's much smaller than the sloth.
Is it some kind of mouse?
Very close to a mouse. It's not a mouse or a mole or anything like that, but very, very close. About the same size. My favorite creatures. One of my favorite creatures, my totem creature.
A hamster?
Wow, Chuck. You're just painful to me today. Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow. You're so mean.
Hey, hamster's adorable.
What? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the church store called, and they're running out of you.
All right. I'm going to give Jet an unfair advantage. I used to call them in at the campsite in Kettle Falls.
Oh, bats.
Bats. That's totally right.
Oh,
A bat sleeps 20 hours a day.
Huh.
I want to be a bat.
Yeah.
Right? I usually do the opposite. I usually sleep for 4 and awake for 20.
Now
ain't it the truth?
I should have gotten that because you always wear the Batman shirts. You drive the Batmobile.
I know. 2/3 of married women say they are the ones who do what with the majority of the time in a relationship. 2/3 of married women say they are the ones who do this the majority of the time.
Clean the house.
No, it's more insidious.
Oh. More insidious. Make fun of their husband?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, but a little bit warmer.
That's one of Lindsay's favorites things.
Women are, so another way to put this is women are guilty of this more often than men.
Getting angry?
I'm going to take that because it's starting an argument, which I would say is pretty much the same thing. So 2/3 of married women say the majority of the time that they start the argument. Shame on you, ladies. If you're in that 2/3.
I can't. I'm not going to say anything because she might be listening.
She is. 6 in 10 married men say they would want this if they got divorced.
The dog.
Exactly, the pet.
Okay.
Chuck, you planning something the rest of us need to know about?
Wasn't what I was going to guess.
No? All right. Let's see. I think I might have a couple more, and then I want to do a
It's funny that it's not the kids; it's the pet. That
Yeah. I'm not going to fight over you. You can have the kids. I want the dog.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. During, and I did that with the cat. I was going through a breakup, and we were arguing about the cat. And then it was a couple days till she moved out. And when she moved out, she says, you know what? I decided you can have the cat. She says, I don't want him. He's just like you.
Oh, no.
And my reaction was, yes, I get the cat.
You're a winner in that,
I have.
in that case.
All right. During Ronald Reagan's presidency, the White House purchased 12 tons of what?
Jelly bellies, jelly beans.
Yes.
Really?
Not even a hesitation.
I knew that because Ronald Reagan's famous for loving jelly bellies.
12 tons in 8
That's
years?
crazy.
Well, I mean, half that time he was completely out of his brain, so he didn't know he was eating so many.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what happened to his brain, a strict diet of jelly beans.
Yeah, that joke was for all you millennials and Gen Z out there.
All right, according to a survey, 1 in 5 of us say we never eat what? Oh, that's bad. 1 in 5 of us never eat this food group.
Brussels vegetables.
Yeah.
Nope.
In general.
Trying to think of the 5 food groups.
All I can think of is jelly beans now.
Is it
grains?
Is it grains? No, it's not. Grains?
Fruit?
It is fruit.
Like
it is fruit.
I was
going
to guess meat, but yeah.
I figured fruit and vegetables would be in one, but...
According to researchers, it takes at least 25 fans to do this.
Cheer on somebody.
Yeah, I was going to say start a club.
You're close.
Yeah.
25 fans.
To do this.
To make wind?
To make wind?
A fan, like...
It doesn't say if these are fans, like
Yeah.
as in people fans or regular fans,
Like
but
a
I'd
ceiling
say, or ceiling fans, but I'd say whether it's people or an actual fan, it's the same. Takes 25 fans to do this, whether it's a fan or a person. So take 25 people or 25 fans to do this.
And it's not make wind.
To make a tornado fire.
You guys are really close.
25 fans.
Think of a sporting event.
A sporting event.
To do the wave.
To do the wave. Good job, Chuck.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Takes 25 people? I mean, I could do the wave right now. Look.
It's not impressive
at
at all.
Come on, Scott. Yeah, see, there it goes. Anybody on the live stream?
I watch these videos, and these guys are just flapping their arms. That's all they do.
That's prime radio right
I call that a Facebook bonus if you're watching online. All right, spy the lie and stretch when they wake up. 62% of people try to get out of jury duty. The average adult has between 10 and 40 moles. Which one is the lie?
I'm going to say the jury duty one.
The jury duty. Chuck?
Oh, gosh. I think they all sound like they could be true, and I swear I've seen ants stretch before. But I think I'll go just to do something different. I'm gonna go with the ants.
You're gonna say that's the lie?
Yeah.
No, they
but I'm
do.
probably
They
wrong.
do in fact stretch.
I
You were
figured.
right. You were right.
I figured.
You took a loss just cause. That's cute.
Just to be contrary.
I mean,
All right. 62% of people try to get out of jury duty. No, they don't. It's only 25%.
yeah.
Oh, I was thinking that number might
See,
be
I'm-
low. It might be closer to 100%.
Yeah.
If I got a summons to jury duty, I would be so excited. I'd be like there the next day. I'd camp out the night before. I don't know why. It just sounds
Really?
like a ton of fun. And I'd be so disappointed if I got kicked out of, like if I didn't get chosen.
Oh, you have a sign. It says, I want to put somebody in prison.
That would probably, it'd honestly probably disqualify me for how much I actually want to do it. They'd probably be like, all right, get this guy out of here. He's too eager.
Yeah, I might. I've gotten summons a few times, but I've always gotten out of it. And I do think it would be fun to go and see how fast you could actually get kicked out of the jury selection process.
Oh, though, if I was getting selected for jury duty for Trump's upcoming criminal trial, I'd be all in.
I don't think
I would keep my mouth shut.
I'd be all in.
I don't think they'd let you.
Pick at my home, whatever you want.
They pay
I
you.
would delete my Facebook account so they can't see my posts.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to punt around a little bit, okay? Until you guys force me to stop. You're going to be shocked. You're going to be shocked with these puns. So it's a little history on Scott. My first job was working at an orange juice factory, but I got canned because I couldn't concentrate.
That's a double header.
And then I worked in the woods as a lumberjack, but I couldn't hack it, so they gave me the axe.
Gosh.
After that, I tried to be a tailor, but I just wasn't suited for it, mainly because it was a so-so job.
Oh, my.
Then I worked in a muffler factory, but that was too exhausting. Then I tried to be a chef. I figured it would add a little spice to my life, but I just didn't have the time. That's a spice.
That's a good one.
Right. I attempted to be a deli worker, but any way I sliced it, I couldn't cut the mustard. I sure seem to be able to cut the mustard now, though.
Cut something.
The cheese, Scott. That's the cheese.
That's cheese. Okay. My best job was being a musician, but eventually I found I wasn't noteworthy. All right. I studied a long time to become a doctor, but I didn't have any patience. All right. Next was a job in a shoe factory, but I just didn't fit in. Then I became a fisherman, but I discovered that I couldn't live on my net income.
Oh, my gosh.
And I managed a good job working for a pool maintenance company, but the work was just too draining.
You're working for my pool maintenance company right now.
I can't believe they haven't stopped me yet. So then I got a job at a gym, but they said I wasn't fit for the job. Have you seen my belly? Yeah. Right. After many years of trying to find steady work, I finally got a job as a historian, and then I realized there was no future in it.
Scott works at the gym as a model for the before pictures.
Yes.
Wow, he's right. That was my next one. Wow.
Sorry.
All right. My last job was working for Starbucks, but I had to quit because it was always the same old grind.
Oh.
And that's how I ended up here at KCHW.
Wow.
Long history there.
Man, Scott is just getting beat up on today.
Wrong history instead of the long history. All right. We should probably, one of you guys want to scroll up to the top and tell me what our goofy holidays are for today. I'm really, really curious. First off, a couple of history tidbits that happened today. Hundreds of French colonists arrived in Louisiana. It was 1718, with some of them settling in present-day New Orleans. Then in 1885, Captain Matthew Webb became the first person to swim across the English Channel, traveling from Dover, England to France in 22 hours.
Wow.
1916, National Park Service established within the Department of the Interior. And then jump all the way from 1916, nothing happened until 1975 when the album Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen was released.
Okay. That's less
Only
exciting than
the event in 60 years.
I think they could have omitted that one.
Yes. All right, 2004, man charged with robbing a Butler, Wisconsin bank across from a police department. He told investigators he wanted to impress a woman with the stolen money. Instead, he says he spent most of the loot at a casino. All right, 2006, a Polish man who had a cancerous tongue. Had it removed and had a new one made using tissue taken from his buttocks.
Oh,
yeah, it seems like they always take something from your butt anytime they need to reconstruct something. What is that?
I'm still gonna need to sit. Do you really want to take it from there?
Why? How is the human butt so versatile?
I don't know.
I think there's just so much meat down there.
I didn't know it had taste buds too.
I was about to say, I got to go get my nose redone. Could I request that you don't use the butt?
It still sounds the same when he goes.
That's what made him think of it.
Sorry, it just popped into my head.
We have so we only take from body parts that make the noise. So we can take from we can take it from your armpit.
You got me. Only the noise. All right. I hope I never lose my tongue.
Anyway.
All right. Chuck, you still with us? He almost he's laughing. He's laughing. Okay.
In losing weight, for the first time in my life, I can do the fart noises with my hands.
Oh.
That's exciting.
Can you do that on the show right now with your armpit?
We call that a non-scale victory.
Can you do that right now, you think?
My hands are pretty dry. I can't.
Oh, here we go.
No, they're too dry right now. I can't.
You guys are disgusting. All right, Idiots on the Radio continues. Who wants to do special events?
I got it pulled up right here.
Okay.
4 months until Christmas. Thanks for that.
Has anybody started Christmas shopping already?
No.
Good.
I'm bad at Christmas shopping. Kiss and Makeup Day.
We've started saving really great boxes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, see, that's... Yeah. Today is Kiss and Makeup Day.
All right.
Come on,
you've been kind of upset with me, Jet.
Yeah,
Come on. Bring it in. Bring it in.
Another special for Facebook viewers.
Does that count if I dress up like Gene Simmons?
Yeah.
Yes.
It does.
Kiss Makeup Day?
Yeah.
Yes, I like it.
I like that. I did see I think it was yesterday, was his birthday or something.
Gene Simmons?
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, it's Banana Split Day.
That tastes great.
Second-hand Wardrobe Day, so that's every day for me.
I like finding a great deal at the second-hand store, something really cool that's maybe back in style or out of style.
Yeah.
But I do hate the smell.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I wear these flannels all the time, and I'll say more than half are from the thrift store. So it's also Whiskey Sour Day, so that's fun.
What'd you say, Chuck?
Do you ever get a secondhand garment or something that for some reason, no matter how long you own it, no matter how many times you wash it, you can't get that smell out?
Yeah.
Has that ever happened?
No.
What is that?
I don't know.
Maybe that's why they got rid of it. Who
really
knows?
bad BO?
Maybe.
Just baked in.
You're right.
That's why the only kind of used furniture I will buy is leather.
Oh,
because you can hose it down.
Yeah, that's a good point. We put that plastic over it too, I guess. But
I scored on the red couch.
You did. Scott got a really nice red couch.
20 years old.
Yeah.
It had been sitting in a sunroom, totally bleached out.
Yeah.
And I found this stuff on Amazon. It was a red leather restorer.
It was a polish, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and you'd given me some stuff like you can use on some conditioner. So I used a conditioner, especially the arms were bad and cracked. I used this conditioner on it, and then I bought this red dye to rub into it. And it literally took this 20-year-old couch and made it look like a brand new. I mean, it looks like a $2,000 red leather sofa. And it was a thing I bought on Amazon for $10.
Yeah.
And then I was worried because it was a dye and it was wet. And at first I could kind of rub on it and it would come off. But now it's been 3 months.
Yeah.
It's never come off. Totally amazing.
I mean, you got to think they do the same thing to shoes and leather shoes. But yeah, no, it looks like it looks like it just came off the showroom floor. I mean, it really did restore.
Total score.
That's been Couch Talk with KCHW.
Thank you. Oh, all right.
It has that new couch smell.
All right, number of the day, Chuck Ritchie.
618 million. That's the pounds of honey consumed in the United States each year.
Wow.
That's a sticky.
That's a lot.
That's a sticky mess.
That's a lot of honey.
That's just wrong.
That's a lot of honey.
That is a lot of honey.
Canada last year had half of their honeybee hives across the country die over the winter.
Well, there's actually been a big problem, too, with honey theft.
Yeah.
Because the same thing with syrup coming out of Canada. There's a big battle, like fake syrups and syrups going to countries where they add stuff into it. And, scary all the way around.
I actually, I spoke with this lady who... she called herself an independent organic maple syrup certifier. So what that means is she has a job as an author, and she funds that job by running around to different maple syrup farms here in Maine, and she tests them if they're organic. And she'll just go to random ones and I don't know how she tests them, but
find out if it's for real or not.
Yeah, interesting. She was a very not the best. Cool. She wasn't the best writer, but. I'm sure that her organic maple syrup testing is quality.
Is quality? Are you sure?
I don't know. I can't speak to that, but I did read a little bit of the book she wrote about a fictional organic maple syrup certifier that definitely was not based on herself, and it wasn't. It was okay. It was self-published. We'll leave it there.
All right. Let's. Oh man, I had some great entertainment news. We're running a little long though, and you probably got to get to work, so we should bail out of this. We're gonna wrap up today's show, I guess, and we're gonna do that the way we usually do, with a little bit of odd news.
Yes. Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
All your due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
All right, we always like to start off with the news attack, where the first part is true and the second part is a bad joke. And Chuck Ritchie, will you kick things off for us today?
All right. A study found that when it comes to exercise, men are definitely stronger and faster, but women have far more stamina. Yeah, everybody knows that. That's why they have those chairs at the mall, so the husbands will have somewhere to catch their breath.
Is that what they're for?
That's funny.
Oh, catch your breath. Okay.
All right. Researchers discovered that the deadly venom of the Australian tiger snake hasn't changed in 10 million years. I don't know how they found that out. I mean, what did they do? Find a copy of the original recipe?
129-foot super yacht valued at $7.8 million sunk to the bottom of the ocean off the coast of Italy. I got to see the video.
Oh,
it's
did you?
Very cool.
Nice.
Now that poor billionaire will be forced to use his 112-foot super yacht for a while.
Oh, poor guy.
We should start a GoFundMe for him.
On a side note, also I think it's kind of a worthy odd news story. Yesterday it came out. Sylvester Stallone, it was a big deal in entertainment news that he had taken and had a tattoo of his dog placed over the tattoo of his wife. And then today in the news, his wife, Jennifer Flavin, announced she's divorcing Sylvester Stallone.
Wow.
I mean, it makes sense.
I shouldn't have done that thing with the dog. That's all I'm saying. All right,
I think my wife would be okay if I tattooed our dog over her name.
Oh, honey, it's so cute. I love our dog.
She's over there like, yeah. That.
I've asked Lindsay before. She'd like, you want me to get my name or your name tattooed on me? And she says no. She does not like that idea.
But strangely enough, she had her cat's name tattooed.
Yeah.
Right. I have my kids' names, but not. Yeah.
All right. I think we're back to you, Chuck, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Being a homeowner isn't cheap. Yeah, my freezer broke and I'm having to eat the stuff that's been in there for a while. Does anybody remember if 2008 was a good year for meatloaf?
Yes, that was a particularly good vintage for meatloaf.
It's really dark, though.
Has very earthy notes to it.
Yes. All right.
We have the problem. Our freezer's full all the time, and we go to the grocery store, and because we don't have anything to eat, and we come home and there's no room in the freezer for the groceries we just got.
All right, Jet.
According to a survey, women hate cleaning the bathroom the most. It makes sense. That's why I'm the one in our house that does it. Dusting is their second least favorite chore, followed by defrosting the fridge, washing windows, and doing laundry. I like defrosting the fridge. It's a great excuse to finish off that six-pack.
Can't let this get warm. According to statistics, each year in the U.S., police officers arrest around 5,400 kids under the age of 10.
Good.
Mostly for coloring outside the lines. Watch out, kids.
Love spending my money on that.
All right, Chuck.
A study determined the benefits of exercise begin to fade after 10 days. Yeah, most people understand that to mean that they should maintain their daily workout schedule. I understand it to mean I only have to work out once every 9 days.
I like your math. All right. Survey finds most women on dating apps want the guys to have full-time jobs.
Oh,
man. And be fully vaccinated on their backs.
Okay. No back hair, please.
No back hair.
Yep. That's why the very first picture on any dating app that I ever had was a picture of my back.
All hairless and shaved.
Yeah. Well, I'm for it. I don't have to shave it. I'm just naturally smooth.
Like a baby. All right.
I always say the older I get, it falls off the top of my head.
And onto your back?
Yeah.
Or lower?
I think I'm getting there, too.
All right. Wacky but true. We don't add any lies to these because all the stupidity is self-contained, and we are back to Jet.
Airbnb is rolling out a new anti-party technology. U.S. and Canada, Airbnb is attempting to enforce a global ban on house parties.
All right. You are in the wrong spot, my friend. We're looking for wacky but true. Wacky but true.
Wacky but true.
Yeah.
Well, we skipped that section.
All
right, here we go. Try again. Animal control officers might expect to deal with the dog issue, but one in Davis County, Utah, Hey, Davis County, I've been there. Got a surprise, a house with goats, which were spotted Saturday night on a home's roof. The animals came as a surprise to the homeowner who doesn't live there but had been renting the house, which is currently for sale. The goats belong to the most recent tenants. Animal control rounded them up. The realtor for the home said he's open to the idea of selling a package deal to potential buyers. Quote, we definitely have to ask them now and see if they want some new goats with their home.
Oh.
Buy a house, get some goats.
We used to have our dogs would go up on the roof. We had one of those split levels with the porch in the back and they jump up on the roof. The greatest thing about it is when you had food coming or pizza, it was the easiest thing to give directions. Just look for the dog on the roof.
When I lived in Loon Lake, there was a family down the road that had 3 dogs and a goat, and the goat thought it was a dog, and the kids would go out and walk the neighborhood and with the dogs and the goat. It was pretty entertaining. The goat was so excited to go for a walk and run with the rest of them. And they go down to the lake and be on the dock, and the goat's just having a good old time. All right, so this realtor, I think it was a woman.
If she fails us, we better get used to herding goats.
All right. Virginia Fire Department teamed up with animal care and control officers to rescue a kitten that became stuck inside the dashboard of a vehicle. The Richmond Fire Department responded to a Dollar Tree store parking lot and removed several panels from the dashboard of the car to allow an animal control officer to reach in and grab the trapped cat. How do you think that went for him?
Not well.
You ever try to reach in and grab a trapped cat? Exactly.
Right?
All right, but after it's all over with?
To go rub a cat's butt.
Yep. All right. Chuck Ritchie.
For good luck.
For good luck.
Oh,
same thing works with me, by the way.
I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this correctly. Kene Yancey has filed a federal lawsuit against police officer Gregory Tillman in Clayton County, Georgia, where Tillman works. Sorry about that. According to the suit, Tillman was at Yancey's door because of a police assistance request from a man who recently moved out of her home. Body cam footage shows Yancey shutting the door and then Tillman breaking it down. Yancey says Tillman slammed her to the floor so hard she now walks with a cane. Why was Tillman at Yancey's house? The man who moved out said he left behind a remote control and a chessboard, which Yancey said weren't there.
Yeah, reasonable escalation.
Wow, so he kicked it in just for a remote?
That's crazy.
He tackled her to the ground?
That's all right.
Wow.
That's like something my senile grandpa would do.
Wow.
Give me that remote.
Give me that remote, Shunny.
He needs some testing.
Release your anger.
No, don't worry. He'll be fired and working for a new department by the end of the month.
That makes me angry. And when Dr. Evil gets angry, Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset. And when Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset, people die!
I have very creepy, vivid memories of my step-grandfather as a young child. He was missing his pickle book, a book on how to pickle things.
Oh, good.
And I remember sitting in the living room about dusk when it was starting to get dark, and he was old and pale and staring in our window in the living room, yelling, "Where's my pickle book?"
Tell me where the book is.
I still have nightmares about that to this day.
Wow.
Tell me where the book is. I need my pickles.
It's terrifying.
Wow. All right, last one.
Okay.
Man in China was charged with multiple accounts of car arson, or as I like to call it, Carson. Sorry. 31-year-old.
Hold on, I'm going to play the sound effect early for this one, okay?
You're totally confused again, aren't you?
All right, multiple counts of Carson. 31-year-old suspect torched 14 parked vehicles. He told authorities he started his car Carson spree because family members had been criticizing him for not conceiving a child despite his years of marriage. He told authorities he was riding a bike on his way home from work when he suddenly felt the impulse for arson. Sorry, that should have read Carson. And used his lighter to set a car on fire.
Wow.
14 vehicles.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So how does being ridiculed by your family for not having a baby make you want to burn cars down?
Well, it says he was riding his bike.
You just don't understand.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then my second problem with this one, I can't even start a campfire with a Bic. How do you light an entire car on fire with a lighter?
Well, you put a piece of paper in the gas tank and then you set it. You light that.
Oh, well, that's an explosion. That's not Carson.
That's just a rolling Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, see?
Rolling Molotov. Wow.
You're totally confused again, aren't you?
All right, and I'm calling on the People's Republic of China to start calling it what it is. Carson.
Carson.
All right. I'm down for that.
So since we all had some like really horrible Carson ideas, let's do this.
I got my 2 hands up. I surrender. Come and lock me up.
You notice how Chuck didn't raise his hands?
Yeah, Chuck was too busy setting the car on fire.
Yeah.
Well. You gotta have a hobby.
Okay.
Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye.
That's right.
It's been a fun show.
That is our show for today. Thanks so much for tuning in, Northern Lights Public Radio. A big thank you again for Michelle. She had to run in this morning and flip some switches.
Thanks, Michelle.
And we appreciate that very much. Thank you, Chuck Ritchie, and thank you, Jet Timmons, both for joining me this morning here. It's Northern Lights Public Radio. Big round of applause for both of you. And an invite to stay tuned in as we leave you with this very important message.
This concludes the broadcast from World Control.
That's right.
Nice.
That makes me angry. And when Dr. Evil gets angry, Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset. And when Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset, people die!
It's 9:09.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW, Chewelah, Loon Lake, Clayton. Programming made possible by donations from the following.
At New Health, we provide exceptional medical and dental care to the residents of Stevens, Ponderay, and Ferry counties. With clinics in Northport, Ione, Colville, Chewelah, Loon Lake, Springdale, and 9 Mile Falls, our care teams are here to